Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at a keyboard that mixes kind of retro vibes with a futuristic modern take, let's put it this way, modern take on the keyboard design in terms of the internals and everything altogether. Today we're going to talk about EPOMAKER RT85, which comes in combination of, as I said, retro design, but we have a joystick, we have a screen, and we have this, well, a small dial that switches between the connectivity. So let's deep dive and check out what we can expect from the EPOMAKER RT85. It's a compact 75% board with a built-in joystick, customizable TFT screen, 3-mode wireless, and a surprisingly premium internal structure. But of course, we'll break it down to see if it's actually all that perfect. So the RT85 comes in two colorways. We have it in this retro gray, dark gray, orange, and well, you can see the color scheme. And we have it also in black. The case has these soft rounded edges, and I'm not saying like soft with rubber or anything similar to that. It's just nicely rounded, and that looks great. With board weight about 1 kilogram, so it sits really solid on the desk, I would say. Now on the middle right side of the keyboard you have 1.47-inch TFT display, multi-directional joystick. The display can show system info, animations, or even custom GIFs, and the joystick acts as your volume, RGB toggle, and mute button. So with those two additional features that you get compared to other keyboards, you can actually access some nice cool features to it. Now, as I stated, the RT85 uses 75% layout, so the function row, arrows, navigation keys, all in a compact footprint. So when we're talking about connectivity, we have USB-C wired to USB Type-A, we have Bluetooth, and we have 2.4G wireless with 1000 Hz pulling rate. Latency is, well, I would say quite okay. Wired is 6 milliseconds, around that. 12 milliseconds is for the 2.4 gigahertz, and 18 milliseconds is on Bluetooth. It works with Windows, Mac, Android, and iOS. Inside, this is quite cool, I do have to say, has a huge 8000 milliampere battery. Now, this delivers 90 hours with the screen on and RGB off. But it can go over 300 hours with everything switched off. So that's quite cool. If you don't need your screen at the moment or just need that extra juice from the keyboard, you switch everything off and you can squeeze it out. Now, the typing. So let's talk about that, because this is where the RT85 actually surprised me. EPOMAKER with the RT85 went with a gasket-mounted structure paired with polycarbonate flex-cut plate and an impressive 5-layer dampening system inside. So we're having Poron sandwich foam, IXPE switch pad, PET sound pad, socket foam, and a silicone bottom layer. Now you can pick the RT85 with a couple of switch options, all of them linear. So the first one is Wisteria V2, smooth pre-lubed linear switch with slightly heavier bottom out. It's around the low 60 gram range and includes a built-in light diffuser. So if you care about bright, clean RGB lighting, these switches really pair well with it. Now the second option is the Creamy Jade switch, which is a lighter linear switch with softer feel when bottoming out. Also pre-lubed, also smooth, but without the diffuser, so the RGB will look a little different depending on your keycaps. So both of these switches are 5-pin, and the board itself is fully hot-swappable, which means that you can install almost any MX style mechanical switch you want. Linear, tactile, clickies, well, it kind of makes sense. Whatever fits your preferences. No soldering required, just pull and replace. Talking about that, I really wanted to go with the accessories that you get inside the box. First and most important, you get the quick start guide, which looks a bit thicker, I would say, but the English part is just basically like any other language that is in here, like 2, 3, maybe pages, but still gives you all the necessary information that you need for the function buttons and everything, everything considering that. In addition to that, you get 2 additional switches, and you get a switch and a keycap remover, which is handy since the keyboard is hot swappable. And finally, get fully nicely braided Type-C to Type-A cable, which fits the color scheme of the keyboard right here. So yeah, it really does match nicely. Now the keycaps are double shot PBT cherry profile. As per usual, they have that nice matte texture and they won't fade or wear down over time. So the retro color themes, tie into that console aesthetics really well, and they feel solid when typing. Now, since we're at the typing, and I did skip it when I mentioned the typing for the first time, let's hear that. What we got here when typing is basically a really enjoying one. A soft cushion talky sound profile, not too loud, not hollow, just a comfortable, well-damped experience. The LEDs are south-facing, which is good news if you plan to swapping to the aftermarket keycaps, especially cherry profile ones, since south-facing LEDs avoid interference issues. RGB lighting is bright, fully customizable with a bunch of built-in effects, so you don't have to use the software, but we'll get to that part. You can switch modes with the joystick, which is actually pretty easy, or you can dig deeper into customization with the software. Now, the built-in 1.47-inch TFT screen is one of the coolest things of this keyboard, apart from the sound of the switches. So out of the box, it can show your battery percentage, connection mode, date, or typing activity in real time. But the highlight is definitely the ability to upload custom images or GIFs, so you can put pixel art, logos, animations. You can even create your own. It's all up to you. You can really go and do wonders inside the software. Now, there's the joystick. It's not just some gimmick that you place on the keyboard. It really does work and has quick access, quick controls. Up and down adjust volume, left and right cycles the RGB effects, and pressing it mutes your system volume. So that's good. It's tactile, responsive, and it gives the board a bit of a, I would say, a personality when we're talking about the retro theme. Now, the one thing that I did notice when using the joystick, it's not, well, you do need to get used to it a bit. So it's not all straightforward, right? You want to press it, it is a bit wobblier than your regular joysticks that you're used to. But when you get a grip of it and when you move it on both sides, you get the feel, and then you're used to using it properly without any mistakes. Now for the software, what we have right here is the software gives you control over remapping macros, lighting presence, and content on the screen, what I already mentioned. The interesting thing for the software, if you, for instance, want to update something on the screen, macros, lighting effects, or anything similar to that, you don't have to press apply. So what you have to do is, I don't know, choose the color, choose the whatever you want to do with it, customize the keys, screen, or the lights. You do the customization and you just press anywhere on the empty slot in the software and it will synchronize. And it does synchronize quite quickly, I do have to admit. So adjusting the colors, it was quite straightforward and easy. The one thing that I noticed, since we're at the software and non-software usage for the RGB lights, I couldn't find the solution of going, when we're talking about the RGB lights, with the FN button and the shortcuts. You can't go with the static color there. You have to go through the software. It might be my mistake. I might have skipped, missed, or just pressed something wrong, not being able to adjust it like so. But after going through the EPOMAKER software, I managed to go with a single color scheme, since you already know I always like to go without any RGB spectrum, just single color, and that's my style. But yeah, software does it quite easy, quite straightforward. Now, I did hear the software tends to be a bit buggy regarding, well, some adjustments and of course the screen. But the cool thing is the software gives you possibility to adjust literally everything. From deep sleep to switching off the RGB, you can set the time for the 2.4G for the Bluetooth, and it's really straightforward like that. Now for the bugginess and all the other stuff, when I was using the keyboard, and I did use it for quite some time in terms of getting the, well, not feedback, but basically to see how the software works and how the keyboard responds to wireless connectivity and everything all together, I didn't notice or encounter anything similar to that. So it might be up to individual operational system or actually just the software at some point if it wasn't updated or anything similar to that. I can't say anything precisely because it didn't happen to me, but you can always go and check out other details regarding that just to give you a bit of a heads up. Now, you already know everything about the battery, the time that it can be used with this 8000 milliampere battery. And the cool thing is, it can automatically power down after inactivity, which helps save battery. So this extends the battery life for quite some time, but it all depends on individual user usage. So I can't go into that segment and say precisely it will last 300 hours with everything switched off, because, well, it depends on everything. Also, if your screen and RGB are on, it can shorten down the battery life, which is quite logical. So the stabilizers are plate mounted, pre-lubed, and honestly pretty decent out of the box. I do have to say, the typing experience, as I stated, soft, talky sound, and not too loud, not too hollow. I do have to repeat myself. And you have the possibility to adjust everything either through the software or just on the hand. Of course, you can't map the buttons without the software or anything similar to that, but you can download the software from their website, which will give you options to customize the keyboard to your liking, from the screen to the RGB lights to key mapping or anything similar to that you want to do. You can do that through the software and adjust everything. The cool thing, you have this magnetic cover for your USB, so you can take it anywhere and have the USB dongle hidden right here, which won't fall off because it's actually a bit harder to remove it even with, there we go. So you notice that it's a strong magnet, and I would say that's good. It's nothing drastical in terms of you will be, you see, there we go. So, in that sense, I think that's good. All in all, what I can say is RT85 for $85 with the TFT screen, with the joystick, and unbelievable typing experience. I do have to say it's really enjoyable. I would say even better than some past keyboards that are reviewed, and I really did enjoy those typing. This one tops those, not all, of course, but it goes into that segment of top 3, top 5 keyboards that I enjoyed typing immediately out of the box. Not a custom keyboard, just out of the box experience was amazing. Software is there to back it up. You can use it, you can skip it, it's all up to you, because the TFT screen is already pre-programmed, so it kind of gives you all the necessary information that you might need just from the top of your head. And basically that's it. A cool keyboard for a cool price that gives you unbelievable experience for typing, that's for sure. And I'm digging the whole construction inside, which separates that you don't get the echoing and you don't get any uh, vibrations additionally unnecessary. The keys are very stable, including the spacebar, shift. The only caps lock doesn't really matter that much, but that's the only key that I actually managed to wobble a bit more than usual. So EPOMAKER RT85, a really cool keyboard with something that you won't find every day on a keyboard, which is a TFT screen and a joystick. Massive enjoyable typing experience. And if you're into all of that, you can check out the link in the description for more details, and of course a discount code PCCrazy to check it out and get the keyboard for an even better price. Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell, and I'll catch you soon in another one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.